can be cooked in many ways. In this video, I will be showing you the best way to make authentic Nigerian egusi soup. To get started, we start by cooking the meat. For the meat, I have some cow leg, which is also known as bokoto, some beef, and some shaki. Transfer them to a cooking pot. Then I'll be going in with some blended onions. I also add to it some salt and seasoning cube. Then marinate the meat with the seasoning. Allow to cook without adding any water to it for about 10 minutes. This allows the meat to release its own sweetness before adding more water to it. I'm cooking the beef, the shaki, and the cow leg together because the cow leg is not too tough. But after cooking together for some time, I'll be removing the beef from it. I also added some scotch bonnet pepper to the meat. Cover and allow to cook for about 10 minutes. And here in another pot, I'll be cooking some cow skin, also known as pomo. So I've already cleaned it behind the camera. So I'll be going in with some onions, seasoning cube, salt, and add water to it and allow to cook for about 10 minutes. And after cooking the meat for about 10 minutes, I'll add more water to it. Cover and allow to cook for 10 more minutes. And after cooking for another 10 minutes, I'll separate the beef from the other meat. The reason why I did not cook the cow skin with the other meat is because cow skin has its own unique odor. And I don't want it to interfere with the stock. And after separating the beef from the other meat, I'll be going in with some stock fish and some smoked fish. I'll cover the pot and allow them to cook for another 15 minutes. So as the meat is cooking, let's go ahead and prepare the other ingredients to be using for the egusi soup. Here I have some bitter leaf that I've already washed behind the camera. I'll set it aside. And also some dried uziza leaf. So before using this for the egusi soup, I'm going to be adding some hot water to it. Cover and allow to rest for about 10 minutes. This helps it to become fresh again. I'll set aside. And next we go ahead to blend the pepper we'll be using for the egusi soup. So I have some scotch bonnet pepper here, cayenne pepper, and also some red bell pepper, which I've already removed the seed behind the camera. And also some diced onions. Next, I'll transfer into a blender for me to blend. I'll give them a quick blend, but not too smooth, because that's what I prefer in making egusi soup. And after blending the pepper, we'll set aside. And next, we are going to check on our meat. As you can see, the meat is well cooked. So I'll be removing it from the heat and we'll proceed to the making of our egusi soup. And so to make this delicious egusi soup, I'll be using a clay pot. This will be adding some great flavor and aroma to our egusi soup. Add some palm oil to the clay pot. Next, go in with some onions. Stir and allow to fry for about 2 minutes. And after frying the onions for about 2 minutes, I'll be going in with some locust bean, which I've already rinsed behind the camera. Also fry this with the onions for about a minute. And next, I'll be going in with 2 tablespoons of powdered crayfish. Fry this for about 30 seconds so that it doesn't get burnt and change the aroma of the egusi soup. Or alternatively, add the grounded crayfish to the egusi soup while cooking. After frying the crayfish powder for about 30 seconds, I'll be going in with the blended pepper. Stir together and allow to fry for about 15 minutes so that the pepper can be well cooked. So as our stew is on fire, let's go ahead and cut our vegetable. For our vegetable, we'll be using some ugu leaf. So I've already washed them behind the camera. So I'll just go ahead and cut them into smaller bits. And after slicing the ugu leaf, transfer into a bowl and set aside. And after slicing the vegetable, I'll be bringing in the cow skin that I've cooked earlier. So I'm going to be cutting some of them. I prefer cutting mine into this size, but you can decide to cut yours more smaller than this size. And after cutting some of the cow skin into smaller size, I'll transfer into a bowl and set aside. And back to our stew for making our egusi soup. I'll be adding to it just a seasoning cube, and next I'll be adding the protein. I'll go ahead and stir the meat and the stew together. And after adding the meat to the stew and stir together, I also went in with the cow skin and also the beef. and stir them together. And after stirring all the protein and the stew together and they are well combined, I'll cover and allow to cook for about 15 minutes so that the meat can absorb the stew. And here I have some already blended egusi, which we'll be using for the egusi soup. And so before adding the egusi to the stew, I added little meat stock to the egusi powder, mixed together to form egusi dough. You can also mix your egusi powder with little water or blended onions to form a dough. And after mixing the egusi powder with the meat stock, you can see how it looks like. It is well mixed and came out very thick. And next we are going to be transferring them into the stew. So I'll go ahead and open the pot. This is like 15 minutes of cooking the meat with the stew. You can see how it looks like. So I'll just give it a quick stir before adding the egusi to it. And after stirring together, next I'll be adding the lumps of egusi to the stew. So I'll go ahead and scoop the egusi bit by bit into the pot. And after adding the lumps of egusi into the pot, I'll cover and allow to cook for about 10 minutes. And after 10 minutes, I'll be opening, stir the egusi and the stew together. And after stirring together, I'll add to it the meat stock. And after adding the meat stock to it, I'll stir once again, then cover and allow to cook for about 10 minutes. And after 10 minutes of cooking our egusi soup, I'll open and I'll be adding the vegetables. So I'll start by adding the bitter leaf and uziza leaf to it. I'm adding these ones before the ugu leaf because ugu leaf gets soft easily when cooked. And after adding the bitter leaf and uziza leaf to it, I also stir once again, cover and allow to cook for about 5 minutes. And after 5 minutes of cooking it, next I'll add the ugu leaf to it, then stir together. And after mixing the ugu leaf with the egusi soup, I'll also be adding 1 tablespoon of crayfish powder. This is just to add more flavor to it. And next I'll stir together for it to be well combined. I forgot to record where I added the remaining meat stock to the egusi soup before covering it to boil for about 5 minutes. Sorry about that. And now we have our egusi soup ready. This came out very beautiful with great aroma. You can serve and enjoy egusi soup with any swallow of your choice. Please, I'll be glad to know which swallow you like taking your egusi soup with. And if you find this video very helpful, please kindly give it a thumbs up and share with your loved ones. Thanks so much for spending your time with me.